Welcome to my channel GSP Studies. Get ready for the dictation. 5 seconds. Start. Sir, in my opinion, it is not so because we are facing serious shortage of food in this country. The question is not one of only distribution. The question is also one of increased production in agriculture. The figures that have been given in the review of the food situation from which he quoted make it absolutely clear that the food deficit last year was to the extent of about 7 million tons, and this year it is going to rise to the tune of 12 to 13 million tons. Although from the chart of distribution one can say that the average per capita availability of food might be about 13 ounces, which is supposed to be the basic minimum. Under these circumstances, we must not forget that in India, unlike in other countries, we have not got supplementary foods like eggs and milk to supplement these cereals. Therefore, the intake of 13 ounces, which at the present moment is the food supplied to us, is not enough in this country without the subsidiary foods being available at cheap and economic rates to keep the body moving or to produce the calories that go into the working of human body for 24 hours. Sir, my honorable friend has been at pains to explain, and I myself had some doubts which I expressed the other day when speaking on the motion of thanks to the President's address, that with the food zones as they are now, practically every state is cordoned off into one food zone. There is restriction on the movement of food grains from one state to another, and that we are not, in my opinion, adopting a national policy so far as food is concerned. That was my view, and that remains so to a certain extent. But when we look at it in the present context of things, we must not forget what would be the result if the food zones were abolished immediately. One effect to my mind would be to increase the prices all round. If the movement of food grains is made free in the country, and if it is in the hands of the private trade, then the price of food grains would fall. This was the idea of my friend, to which I do not agree. These two things are not complementary to each other. If today there is hoarding because they want higher prices, then if the food zones are removed tomorrow, then there will be profiteering on a large scale and the prices will not come down. My friend says that there is availability of food grains, but purchase machinery is not there, which is contrary to the facts. We have a food corporation for purchases in the states also, which was established by the center. If the distribution and the purchase of food grains in the country is taken over by the government, there will be numerous problems. Where from the center will production the tremendous finance that would be required? It will create problems. Madam Deputy Chairman, with your permission, I will mention certain points which my honorable friends did not mention, but which I think are pertinent to the debate which is now going on in this house about agriculture and food situation. It is true that food production in this country has not been up to what it was expected. The first plan had a certain target, the second plan had a certain target, and the third plan, of course, has a target which is higher that of the second plan. We must remember that when we mention these targets that are there in our plans, the targets that are mentioned are the potential targets. In other words, when we state that by the end of the second 5-year plan, the potential target would be something like 92 or 95 million tons, it did not mean that 95 million tons would be produced in this country. The potential target meant that given all the facilities in the matter of manure, in the matter of seeds, and in the matter of human efforts, it would be possible to produce 95 million tons at the end of the third 5-year plan. And along with those important incumbents that I have mentioned, there is one more very necessary incumbent, namely timely rains in the country. Stop para. The monsoon in India has always been erratic. Last year, of course, it had been more erratic than in any year, perhaps in living memory. It has always been erratic, and it has to supplement that deficiency that the union government and the state governments under these 5-year plans have launched upon large scale, major, medium, and minor irrigation schemes. In certain fields, of course, we have met with success. Take for instance minor irrigation. In the first 5-year plan, the target was 11 million acres and the actual achievement was somewhere to the tune of 9 million acres. In the second plan, the target was 9 million acres and it was achieved fully. In the third 5-year plan, the target for minor irrigation is 12 million acres and the achievements are expected to come around 13 million acres. Some we cannot just say that nothing has been done so far as this particular problem is concerned. Let us see where these shortfalls lie, why we have not been able to achieve the appropriate potential which we aimed at. If we go into the question a little more deeply, we will find that it has really been the fertilizers which have brought us down, which have brought down the production of food in this country. Regarding fertilizers, the question can be asked when it was estimated that the planned capacity would be something like 6 lakh tons. Why has production been only to the extent of 4 lakh tons? There again, it is a question of counting the process. I think we forget it in this or any planning process stop. এই প্যাসেজের স্ট্রোক এবং পিডিএফ পেতে টেলিগ্রাম গ্রুপে জয়েন করুন এবং ভিডিওটি ভালো লেগে থাকলে লাইক শেয়ার ও সাবস্ক্রাইব করে পাশে থাকা বেল আইকনটি প্রেস করে রাখুন সবার আগে নোটিফিকেশন পেতে। থ্যাঙ্কস ফর ওয়াচিং।